What's up, YouTube? Hope everybody's doing great. This is going to be a bit of a national recap video from me, so have some cool stuff to show. I did some PSA crossovers up there. Got one huge pickup for the Judge collection, so I'm excited to show that. And some other new arrivals from the last few weeks since I made my last video before the National. Also had a small BGS order come back just a couple weeks ago, so I'm showing those finally. And just a few other recent pickups. So we'll get to the cards in just a minute. First, just want to say shout out to so many of you. It would really be impossible to just name a bunch of names, but I do want to say shout out to Amish Dave and Broncos fan Steve. Finally meeting you guys after all these years. Great to finally connect with you fellas. And Uncle Vinny, of course. Uncle Vinny, haven't known you for as long, but great to meet you as well. I'll be on the podcast with those fellas next week, I believe, so looking forward to that. But really just wanted to say, man, great to meet you guys finally, especially Steve and Dave after all these years, man. Crazy. So glad you guys made it to the show. Great to reconnect with all the old school YouTubers, so many people. Man, that is truly my favorite part of the show. Shout out to Jay Lemire, Jamie, and Simon. The first night we went to the Reds Brewers game, Jamie rented a car and we drove up to Milwaukee real quick while Simon drove, and we watched the game there. We had a great time that night, so shout out to you fellas. That was a good time. We also went to dinner, I think the third night. That was awesome. We had great food at the Capitol Grill. I mean, it's a great restaurant, so the food was great, but that was actually the best dinner I had up there. It was awesome. Had a great time. Shout out to you fellas. And sorry, I got a hiccup there. Anyways, too many to name, but it is truly great. I appreciate it every year. It's my favorite part, just reconnecting with the people, especially the old school YouTubers. It's just great to see everybody. A few other shout outs. Shout out to Kyle, King of the Cards. Kyle's actually a friend of mine from the Tampa Clearwater shows. Probably the best t-shirt, the best merch. Man, this guy does it right. These are awesome. National 23. The back is cool. It says, not from any specific game, event, show, whatever. Anyways, he did it right. Also, shout out to Zion cases. They were giving these away. I needed one of these, so shout out to you, Zion. Clint's actually a great friend of mine. By the way, I wanted to mention Zion. Last video I made, I always put my affiliate code in the description box below and my link. My code is just Smith10, SMITH10. It's 10% off with Zion. I've had an affiliate code with them for a while now. I've been buying their stuff since they started practically. They're good friends of mine. And I always put it in the description box, but I don't really talk about it much. I'm not really trying to, be this content creator salesy guy. But it is 10% off, so please use my code anytime you want to. And I always put it in my videos. But after last video, there was a bunch of orders that came in, and I don't get to see who they are. So thank you to everybody that placed orders using my affiliate code. I get a report that shows the order amounts and the number of them. And after the last video, there was a bunch of new orders. Usually I get a few orders here and there just from random people, but this was way more than normal. So there was definitely more people that ordered over the last month or 3 weeks since I put out that last video before the Nationals. So thank you to any of you that placed orders using my code. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to continue using that code. It's 10% off at any time. It's Smith10. I'll put the link below once again, but I just want to say thank you to any of you. Please comment. Let me know, if you ordered or what you ordered or when you ordered. Let me know if you want to. Of course, you don't have to, but I love their product, and it kind of excited me a little bit to see that so many people had placed orders. Maybe it was just because they were getting ready for the National or whatever the case may be, or maybe that video got a few more views than normal. I'm not sure. My videos don't get thousands of views, so it was definitely a little different, though, that so many more orders came in after the last video. So I definitely wanted to just take a second to thank any of you that placed orders to my code. So that's about it. Thanks once again. Let's get to the cards. All right, let's get to the cards here. I'm going to start with the stuff from the National, and then I'll work backwards to some other new arrivals. So first, shout out to Frank. Frank's old YouTube and blog TV handle, I believe, was No Limits. Frank and I go back a long ways. Out of nowhere, he had let me know he was gifting me this Tino Martinez. This is a 1999 Stadium Club on-card auto. This, strangely enough, we looked up the checklist because I was not familiar with this card. They put out a 10-card autograph set. It was retail only, in 99 Stadium Club. The single autographs that this card comes from is only a 10 card set. Man, it has Barry Bonds in it. It has a bunch of big names, but they were retail only. And he pulled this. He opened a bunch of loose random packs that he got in like a junk era collection that he bought, a bunch of 80s and 90s stuff, and pulled this and saved it for me and gifted it to me. So thank you, man. Appreciate that, Frank. This is an awesome card. I did not own it. It is a rare one, and now I have one. So thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it. Other than the next card I'm about to show, or at the bottom of the stack, this was my only other actual pickup from the National. I got this on one of the trade nights. We were just walking around looking at people's stuff laid out in front of them on the carpets, and randomly was this Dave Rigetti Rags Perfect Inscription. Now, I actually have one of these, but the auto goes off the sticker, so randomly this was sitting there. I got this for $10, so that was my only purchase at the National until the very last day when I made the deal for the card at the bottom of this stack that I'll show in just a moment. So that was cool. I did some PSA crossovers. I'll quickly explain this. I brought a stack of Judges that I have in my BGS, BGS Judges in my Judge collection. These were all 9.510s that I have duplicates of. These had better subgrades than quad 9.5s. So these were cards that I thought had a strong chance to cross over. They're duplicates because I have BGS pristines on some of these, and I also have gems with either equal or better subgrades. So my goal, I was hoping to try to get some of these to cross so I would balance out my collection a little bit, and I would have some PSA 1010s to go with my BGS 9.510s or some of these pristine 1010s on the BGS. So solid results. I got 5 cards to cross, so these are the ones that crossed. The 2017 Bowman Chrome Rookie in a PSA 1010 now. This was a 9.5 with 10 centering and 10 corners, I believe. 0.5 from pristine. So, I mean, it was obviously a gem mint card. Great to have it crossed over, though. This was a quad 9.5, actually. This was the lowest of all of them, but I had 2 blues like this, and I really wanted one of them in a PSA 1010 slab. So very fortunate that one of them crossed. This card, of course, looks amazing, but certainly a bit of an upgrade there to go from a quad 9.5 BGS to a PSA 1010. This was 9.5s with 10 on corners, I believe. And this is the gold refractor. So this one looks awesome. PSA 1010. I believe this was a 9.5 with 210 subgrades, so 0.5 from pristine. In fact, I gave them 2 of these, and they only agreed to cross 1. They denied the other one. So happy to get one, though. Definitely a significant value bump in today's market. And then this one was a quad 9.5 with, I believe, 10 on edges or 10 on corners. I can't remember. But again, certainly a gem mint card. Beautiful, bold auto. And definitely a value jump for the current market for this card. So really excited for those 5 there. And then this was my only actual pickup at the show besides that little Rigetti. Man, have I always wanted the 2017 Heritage red ink to 68. Oddly enough, this one just happens to be the 10 of 68 for those of you that remember my affinity to the number 10, PDAS 1010 days, where I tried to go after all cards serial numbered with the 10. I don't really do that too heavily anymore, but for it to come up and randomly be a card that I was able to acquire. Good friend of mine, Morgan, had this. I had some extra Judges because I had brought my stack up there. So when I had the duplicates with me, my goal after the crossovers and after the other things was to try to use the leftovers in a deal somehow to get something. I didn't really know what I wanted, but I knew I was going to have them with me, and I knew I was going to have leftovers after the crossovers attempts, and that's what I did. So I took one of my base 9.510s, one of my refractors, and a few other smaller cards, and we were able to swap even value for this. I did not have to come out of pocket at all. So I'm now finally the owner of one of the absolute whales when it comes to Judge rookie autos, the Red Ink 2017 Heritage. So, and it just happens to be a 9.510 with quad 9.5s. Beautiful. So long story short, super excited about my one real big pickup from the show. Shout out to Morgan once again for working that deal with me, brother. Appreciate that. Let's get on to some other pickups. This should be quick. I got this off eBay. Awesome. This is the Mojo Prism to 25. I had actually looked for a bunch of these, but the sticker autos were terrible. This one just happened to be perfect. And the person before me, I had already graded it, and it was already a PSA 10. And I got that, I think, for under $50. So I felt like that was a steal. This is actually my newest arrival. I just got this yesterday. I had never seen this. 0708 Upper Deck Premier. Premier Stitchings, manufactured patch autograph. This is an entire set where they are only numbered to 5. Very rare cards out of the 0708 Premier. Probably the only time where they made manufactured patch relics like this that are actually cool and desirable looking. The old Premier products, man, they just did it right back then. Even though this is a sticker auto and even though this is a manufactured relic, they just did it right, man. These cards kick ass. So super cool card, number to 5 there. Finally add one of those. Got this from the local show last month. This is a, what is this called? Pantheon, that's right. Panini Pantheon Baseball. I think they only made this product 1 year. Chronicled Calligraphy. Prime Relic Auto to 5, I believe. Yes, 5. And this is like a huge chunky piece of leather with stitching. I don't know if this is a cleat piece or a batting glove or even just a glove, but it's not cloth. It's not jersey. So pretty cool though. It's chunky and the auto is perfectly on the sticker, which is really the only reason I went for it. So nice card there. Some smaller stuff. Cool Chin Meng Wang. These on-card fan favorites, kind of a throwback. He was very popular, of course, and he has not signed, I don't think, in anything in a while. So kind of cool that Topps has him back in a product. So that was a nice pickup. Happy to add that. Pretty cool old Joe Pep here. Team Topps Legends. Awesome set, on-card auto. Pretty cool. And just some relics. This was a Jeter Mattingly, real cheap. Jeter with a nice pinstripe. Pretty cool Yankees clippings. Feel the Game Larson with a really nice pinstripe. This whole set here, these Feel the Game Yankees clippings are really awesome looking. One day I think I'll commit to completing that set. And then a cool relic from Play Ball. This is an old Upper Deck product with a nice pinstripe there. So cool cards. And finally, this is it. Nice short video today. Some other pickups and BGS results. This was from the local show. I got a lot of cards, and this ended up being like the only one I kept. I sold a bunch of them that day. But I've been wanting a Mariano in either a PSA 9 or a BGS 9 because I hope one day to get it signed. I don't know when, and I don't know how much I'm going to pay to do it eventually, but I would like to get one signed eventually. So I think I'll hold this one and use it as the one I crack out someday. This was in that same deal. It's just one that I didn't have yet. It's not a huge card, but it was cool to finally grab one. That's the Update Chrome Rookie PSA 10. Did not have this specific sepia refractor. Awesome subgrades, already graded, so that's a great pickup. Goes right in my PC for the Judge collection. And finally, these 4 cards were BGS results I got back a few weeks ago. I showed these raw probably, 6 months or 8 months ago or whenever I originally got them. So here they are back after getting graded. This one I thought was mint. It got a 9. The centering's a little off, but really this card was sharp. And I really wanted it graded because not only is it a red ink, but it's one of the years where they did not hand number his red inks. The story goes something like this, that he signed them all in red, and they used some of the reds as redemption replacements for other cards. Instead of having blues and the reds serial numbered, he only signed in red, apparently. So they have a number of reds out there that are not serial numbered, but they are treated as true reds because there was no blues that year. So it's kind of unique, interesting. I don't really know the entire story, but it was one of those cards where I really wanted to get it graded no matter what, just to confirm identity. This is a success story. I have graded 3 of these. Phil Rizzuto was a short print in '03 Topps Retired. He is numbered to only 77 print run. These are not numbered though, but he is an actual short print. And I have graded 3 of these over the years. They're usually a little bit more off-centered, and I've gotten 2 9s, and I keep chasing for a better one. I finally found one last year, this one. So I submitted it, and it got a gem finally. So super excited to finally have this card in a gem mint. Awesome. This was raw as well. Actually, no, this was in a PSA Authentic slab. Really strange, man. What a weird pickup last year. I found this card in a PSA Authentic slab, not graded. But man, I studied it and it looked amazing. This is the purple to 10 2013 Bowman dual draftees of Eric Jagielo and Aaron Judge. And man, I cracked it out of that PSA slab and looked it over again, and I just couldn't believe it because it looked gem to me. It looked perfect. So sure enough, 9/5/10, 2 sticker autos that were perfectly clean and a really clean card. So that's a huge success story there. And finally, I saved this for last. This was a raw pickup off of a Facebook group last year. The Superfractor Lou Gehrig from Topps Pristine. This card just pops, man. And it looked gem into me, so I submitted it. And this is kind of like one of those things where people say don't grade one of ones or whatever, but I feel very strongly that it doesn't really matter what the serial number is. I grade cards based on 2 things: value and condition. If it makes sense to grade the card, the serial number really isn't relevant to me. So the fact that it's a 1 of 1 didn't really change much for me. It's a card that's worth, whatever, a few $100, and it looked gem mint to me. And on top of that, I just think Superfractors look amazing in this slab. Of course, the fact that it gemmed is even better. But that's it. So I saved that one for last. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all had a great time at the National if you went. See you at a show near you soon. This weekend actually coming up, I got 2 shows. I'll be in Clearwater at the Tampa Clearwater Show Friday and Saturday. And I will be on the East Coast at the Space Coast Card Show, which is in the Cocoa Rockledge area, on Sunday. So hoping to see some of you out there that are on the East Coast on Sunday. That's it. Take care, everybody. See you next time.